Welcome to The Real Deal with Tricia Riel. That's me, Trish the Dish. This astrological forecast is about the study of time as it's connected to nature and cycles. Some of the characters from my Zephram Gates books will be helping me with this astrological report as well.
It's true. My motto is that you're never too old to learn something ridiculous.
Thanks, Geezer. So, the days leading up to the new moon in Libra on October 8th are ushering us into a closing phase in a number of ways. The biggest news is that Venus entered a 40-day retrograde period on Friday, October 5th. Venus has been a nighttime star at dusk and is now going below the horizon until November 16th, when it reemerges as a morning star. This is Venus's journey through the underworld.
Don't worry. Just remember, if the world didn't suck, we'd all fall off.
I suppose you're right, Gussie. Now, the last time Venus went retrograde in Scorpio was in October of 2010, so that time period had similar issues and vibes as now. It's not a superficial time, as Venus in Scorpio likes to dive deep into underlying issues. We may revisit unresolved things, want to do a redo of things that have not gone as we've wished, and we may be reassessing what we really value, with love, in our relationships with people, with money, and with our own self-worth. We are soul spelunkers, going deep beneath the surface, into the shadows. Something new wants to be born.
That's right. Sometimes we move forward by moving backward. Backtrack to get on a better track.
Just surrender to the lazy man's river, that mystical divine flow.
The new moon in Libra on October 8th gets us wanting to connect in new ways and collaborate with others, create new dynamics that are more balanced. The sun and moon are also squaring Pluto, while Venus and Mars continue their square to each other. Both of these challenging squares are in balsamic or closing phases.
I'm Beatrice Bragg, the head waitress and manager over at the Stew and Chew in Havasville. And, a true diplomat is someone who can tell you to go to hell in such a way that you will look forward to the trip.
I suppose so. Anyway, the lore around Mars in Aquarius is that this position of Mars gets us looking to the future, wanting freedom and independence, wanting to push forward and move past tired and stagnant situations. Venus in Scorpio is in its detriment by sign, and it's at its lowest point in retrograde below the horizon. So feminine energy is not as strong now, which we've been unfortunately witnessing in the news. Excavating ourselves from this culture of denial will be no small task.
Yeah, like, why do we say that nighttime is after dark when it's really after light?
Good question. This Venus journey through Scorpio can feel very karmic somehow. We want real connection and deep, meaningful merging, but we are challenged by futuristic Mars in Aquarius, inspiring us to figure things out on the concept level rather than the feeling level. These two energies are at odds. The feeling level and the concept level must find a way to work together.
Men have more feelings than you think. For instance, they can feel very hungry.
Oh, Beatrice. Anywho, we may feel like we simply can't manifest the deep connections we want, or we might feel like we can't really know our long-term path. Take things with a grain of salt, lick some wounds, and try to work past recent crazy situations that unveiled our deeper needs. We're getting to the bottom of things in real time. We're in a gestation period, So making big life choices is more of an inner process at the moment.
I am Captain Mutton Chops, and I have a question for you. Why does it take pirates so long to learn the alphabet? Because they spend years at sea.
Right. So the new moon does make a harmonious trine to Mars in Aquarius. So energy and action can work together. Set your intentions for this next cycle. With 5 planets in cardinal signs at the outset of this new moon, we have the initiative to really start anew in some significant ways.
I know a mother of 3 notoriously unruly youngsters. She was asked whether or not she'd have children if she had to do it all over again. She said, sure, but just not with the same ones.
Anyway, this new moon is also making 150-degree quincunx to Neptune in Pisces. So it's something of a strange spiritual journey. Align your soul with the greater good and keep your solid integrity intact.
Now don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining.
Geezer, that's gross. Anyway, to continue, with asteroid Chiron also at the last critical degree of Pisces, the last sign of the zodiac, our sense of completion mostly comes from within and from our own soul's potential.
It's true. Integrity is like an icicle. Once it melts, that's the end of it.
Right. The other thing is that Neptune does make a harmonious trine to Venus, so tuning into nature and beauty can help soften the intensity of this time period. Saturn, the planet of form and structure, also continues to trine Uranus, the planet of change. So establishing practical long-term innovation is also possible.
Have you heard about the restaurant that caters exclusively to dolphins? It only has 1 customer, but at least it serves a purpose.
So between now and the full moon in Aries on October 24th, we have a number of very potent days. There is quite a depth of emotion on October 10th and 11th, with Mercury, the Moon, and Venus all in watery Scorpio. The Mars-Venus square is exact on October 10th, bringing intensity in regard to love and passion, and presenting challenges between the masculine and feminine. Uranus also opposes Mercury and Venus, so the unexpected could be communicated, especially in love or in regard to things we value.
All this talk of love gets me wondering. I have never understood why women love cats. Cats are independent. They don't listen. They don't typically come when you call. They like to stay out all night, and when they're home, they like to be left alone to sleep. In other words, every quality that women don't like in a man. So, why do women love cats so much? I find this perplexing.
That is perplexing, but cats are pretty cute and special. Anyway, by the middle of the week on October 17th and 18th, the Venus-Mars square feels even stronger due to Mercury's conjunction to Venus in Scorpio, and the Moon's conjunction to Mars in Aquarius. Oh, the things you will say and do. Think before you speak, friends.
You want to know the best way to communicate with a fish? Just drop it a line.
Anyway, Saturday, October 20th, is probably the most harmonious day coming up in terms of emotions, empathy, and compassion. I say this because the moon conjuncts Neptune in Pisces that day, making a harmonious trine to Mercury in Scorpio. A day for a good cry, real genuine healing, or understanding from other realms. Uranus also moves back into Aries on October 20th. and will be traveling through the last degrees of Aries until March 7th, 2019. Now is a time to finish up the old business of the last 8 years, no matter what it is.
I am Dr. Malvin Moot, the science teacher over at the Fiddlesticks School for Alternative Thinkers with Unusual Abilities. I admit that my girlfriend told me she was leaving me because I keep pretending to be a transformer. I said, "No, wait, I can change."
With Uranus making a conjunction to the full moon on Wednesday, October 24th, and the Sun conjunct Venus in opposition to Uranus, be prepared to expect the unexpected. Mercury and Jupiter will also conjunct in Scorpio, shedding more light on the dark and hidden aspects of things.
So, why doesn't expecting the unexpected make the unexpected expected?
Good question, Beatrice. It's a deep journey through the underworld at this time. Stay as positive as you can and know that many of us are also feeling these intense energies with you. Find trusted friends to confide in. Be sure to take good care of your body, dance and rest when you can, and you'll be able to ride it out.
People used to laugh at me when I would say I want to be a comedian. Well, nobody's laughing now.
Stay tuned for future astrological reports through the Om Shala newsletter and YouTube. To support The Real Deal and to also help with the publishing costs of my third Zephram Gates book, please become one of my regular supporters at my Patreon page at patreon.com/Tricia Riel. Links provided below. And this concludes The Real Deal with Tricia Riel.